Hey guys, surprise! Nope, you did not misclick, you are still on my channel. However, I'm finally in the closed beta of World of Warships since a few days, and as I'm really enjoying myself there, I will gradually incorporate it in the channel. Now this doesn't really influence much the planned video schedule with World of Tanks, but you will see a mixture of the two games appearing regularly. And what can you expect regarding World of Warships content? Pretty much my usual lineup, reviews on certain ships, and the occasional guide on the specific ship types. To kick things off, we will start our journey on the American tech tree, which is one of the two existing lines next to the Japanese line that are currently available. You can select the Russian tech tree as well already in-game, but as at the moment it only includes one premium ship, let's just lay it aside for the time being. Once you get your hands on this game, you will immediately receive the level 1 cruisers, among them the ERIE on the American line. Now if you don't know what cruisers do, they are pretty much the all-rounder jack-of-all-trades in World of Warships, but that doesn't mean they can't be dangerous. On the contrary, they have usually a fairly impressive armament while remaining reasonably mobile, with the added kick from anti-aircraft guns that can help protect key members of your fleet. If you would have to compare it to World of Tanks, they would be pretty much your medium tanks. Before we go into details, as usual you can skip the number crunching and go directly to the gameplay. Your escape route in the form of a timestamp awaits you in the description below. So the ERIE. This little ship bears the name of the city of Erie in Pennsylvania, and it has quite a history to it. It was launched and commissioned in 1936 as a US Navy patrol gunboat, and it also did see some action during the Second World War when it was stationed at both ends of the Panama Canal. It met its unfortunate end in 1942 when, during convoy duty, it was torpedoed by a German submarine. While it was seriously damaged, it did not sink immediately. It eventually capsized during an attempted salvage a few weeks later down the line. So much for the quick history lesson, and by the way my knowledge regarding ships unfortunately only goes as far as Wikipedia allows, so if you do spot anything funny, definitely let me know. As for the in-game performance, I think it's the perfect ship to start your journey with it. It handles quite well, and while the firepower is not immensely impressive, it's perfectly adequate for its tier. As we can see, fully upgraded it has 4 152mm guns as its main battery, and these babies can shoot the enemy every 8 seconds up to 9.6 km away. They also turn at an alright speed and you are able to make a 180-degree turn in 20 seconds flat. Now of course you should avoid making such turns anyway as much as possible. Also, don't get discouraged by the 99-meter dispersion. The accuracy is actually not that bad in ship terms. Just expect to spray a little when you fire around your maximum range. It doesn't have any secondary armaments whatsoever, but it has 4x4 28mm AE guns which, well, let's just say at least it looks good on the deck. Most of the time it won't encounter any aircraft anyway, but when it does, don't really count on shooting anything down with these pea shooters. The upgrades on this ship are fairly straightforward. You can upgrade the hull for an extra 1000 HP, bringing your life to 9900 in total, and you can upgrade the guns from the original 127mm guns to the much more massive 152mm ones, giving you a nice boost to damage, but at the cost of reload time and a bit of turning speed on the guns. Here in Tier 1 you can pretty much expect to max out everything on your ship after the first couple of good runs, at least at this stage of the development, so you will be able to advance quite quickly to the next tiers. Other than that, don't really expect speedboat performance as this baby can only do 21 knots at best, but at least it turns relatively fast. Concealment is so-so as well, as you can expect to get spotted within 8.3 km by other ships and within 3.8 km from the air. But enough of the numbers, I think it's time to sink some ships with it. Alright, so here we are on the Islands map in Standard Battle, and looking at the team lineup while the map loads, we can see that it will be half-half between Tier 1 and Tier 2 machines. So you definitely have to be a bit careful, because there will be a lot of Tier 2 cruisers sailing in this match, and there is quite a bit of a jump in terms of damage potential between Tier 1 and Tier 2. If I would just sail straight ahead into the enemy line of fire and would have 2 or 3 Tier 2 cruisers shooting at me, that would be a pretty short video, I would think. So what I decide to do, I usually try to sail to around the edges, where I should have support from 2 other cruisers and a destroyer, I see most of the other guys are going to the left flank. Now I want to be a gentleman here and allow these guys to go ahead and pull the enemy fire on them, and I will try to remain in the background, shooting at the enemy. Now the ERIE has good firepower, but it would be optimal if I could shoot at tier 1 enemies, which are a bit more my class. But given the opportunity, should be able to sink some tier 2 ships as well. It's a sunny day again in Isles. It will be interesting to see when and if they later incorporate weather conditions. At the moment, it's really calm seas all over. Alright, so a couple of enemies already spotted, but they are all around their cap circle, camping base, and here is an enemy ship, enemy cruiser. So let's take some shots. Really, what you first have to... Oh, and 2 hits already. What you first have to get used to is leading your shots. Judging by the enemy ship's movement. And up, there comes incoming fire. Let's try to evade. Oh yes, excellent. But now he's in the cover of the island, so don't get any more shots into him at the moment. And the other guys are unfortunately outside our range. We can shoot, I think 9.6 km is our maximum range. So as I was saying, aiming will be number 1 that you have to learn. Because, well, you live and die by it, really. I think you can get used to it quite easily. Basically, depending on distance, you have to judge distance and speed, so first, what really you should be doing is lobbing one shot. Not like this, but I think I can now judge quite well. Oh, and there is a good hit. It also did hit the citadel of the ship, which is always nice. So you should do one shot at a time until you can judge the correct distance, and once you have your aim basically perfected, then you can unleash salvos on enemy ships like this one. This was not a perfect one. Oops. Island in the middle. We should be able to lob some shells over it in a second. So now I'm firing already salvos because I have a fairly good idea where my shots will go, and that was just a little bit too short. Look at that, all the enemy team is camping their base hard. Another thing that you really have to watch out for is, well, first thing you really should be doing is enlarging your... that's actually a stationary target, so we judge that one. So you should be enlarging your map quite a bit, because you always have to have half an eye on it, as contrary to World of Tanks, for example. You will be constantly moving, and if you are not careful, you will hit the side of the map. You will run aground on an island, you will basically hit your own teammates as you are colliding with them. All kinds of nasty stuff can happen to you. That was a good hit. Up, and there he goes. So what you see there going on is actually a smoke screen, and destroyers can put down smoke screens to hide their ships, and they will be only revealed while in the smoke screen if they fire. Otherwise, they will disappear. So it's a fairly effective tool. Destroyers are very dangerous. There is one within our range. To our left, you see this arrow-shaped, and now he's gone. So this arrow-shaped, oh, there he is. Marker. You really have to watch out for them. they can fire nasty torpedo salvos at you, and well, if those guys hit you, you are pretty much toast. And they are very difficult to hit. They are very fast and very small targets. And oh, that's so unfortunate. Our shots landed before and after, and oh, there you see. Enemy torpedoes incoming. You see it on the indicator, and there is also the sound warning as well, so definitely take a look where these torpedoes are coming from, and there we are. But luckily, both of us miss. And there is another salvo coming in. I think we should be safe. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, our friend there will not get hit. And the match is so far, well, it doesn't look so bright. The enemy is leading 7-5, but nothing's lost. Oh, that was a really good hit with the with our AP shells. See if we can do it again, and that's what torpedoes do. And I would love to sink this destroyer. And it would not be hard either if I would eventually manage to hit it. So far we are on 24 shots, which is not the best. I think on an average game, and 40 to 60 direct hits can be easily scored. Even with the smaller ships, and they have... you pretty much have 4 main battery guns, so it's not like you would be firing with some of the larger cruisers, for example, and they can unleash salvos that score hits by the dozens, pretty much. Oh, somebody's lobbing some shots at me. Unfortunately, the enemy team is still holding the 2-ship lead over us. Now it's 8-6. Trying to carefully close the distance while also keeping an eye on these torpedoes. Sailing into their path would be rather silly, to say the least. Okay, so that ship is definitely in our range already. Let's see if I guessed it correctly. Yes. A bit unfortunate here with the shots. And you have to expect that. You will not have... oh, that was a good one. So you will not have laser-like accuracy. As you did see, our accuracy in the statistics with this ship is 99 meters over the maximum firing range, so sometimes you will just get unlucky. But we can really put down some effective fire on this ship. Again, have a look at the map. I really don't want to be sailing any closer to their cap, because I believe they are still there. Oh! Somebody did sneak past and started to cap us. And probably I make a misjudge here. False call, because I opt to try to very quickly finish off this ship before I go to reset the base. Which in hindsight might have not been my brightest of ideas, but he's already on fire, so should be fairly quick to finish it. Almost there. Come on. Sink, will ya? Yes, we did not get the final shot, but that's enough. 41 hits so far. It's not bad, but this doesn't really look good. The numbers are still close, but at least the others are closer to the main cap, so they can probably reset. Well, if they would stop dying, that is. And by this time I'm actually quite far away, which is quite unfortunate. So it's now to on the destroyer on our team to do some magic. But it doesn't look good. And there he goes. So yeah, that's pretty much the game lost. Well, it was already not looking too bright in the beginning. It's quite unfortunate. And we are in no position to get back into the base to reset by this stage. There is, I think it's a tier 1 so it would be nice to get some shots on him, at least to farm some more damage before the cap is captured. So I try to close the distance as fast as possible. And there he goes. Let's see. One gun is already on the target. I would have to turn a little bit for the other guns to allow also to fire, and unfortunately we don't get another shot off. So that's an unfortunate loss, but with 42 hits I think we did fairly well, considering that we were up against a lot of level 2 cruisers, so let's see how we did. Actually, it's not that bad. It's a 3rd position by experience earned. And yeah, it's quite unfortunate that our level 2 cruisers didn't do as well. But hey, random games will be always random games. So that was some easygoing gameplay with the Tier 1 ERIE. Quite an enjoyable little ship, but I can guarantee you that the fun factor will increase even more as we enter the higher tiers. Next time, we will continue our journey on the American line with the Tier 2 Chester, and boy is it also a lot of fun to sail around in it. Take care guys, and I hope to see you around in one of the next videos.